Good. No, not really, because as I said, I was all prepared to come on and say we need to take a step back and we need to be very critical of what thus far has been advanced. But clearly, he knows that. Here for reaction, former economic advisor to Ronald Reagan, Art Laffer. Art, good to see you.
Good
Why
to see
can't it just be
Trish.
zero
How
for
are you?
everyone? I'm good. I just don't, 15%, whoop-de-doo. They're still at 15%. We're at 2.5%. I don't understand, Art, why we just can't say, okay, no tariffs. Nobody's going to have any tariffs. Let's get rid of tariffs altogether.
I would make you my trade negotiator every day of the week and twice on Sunday, Trish. You're my favorite. That's the right answer. Of course it's the right answer. You should be over there in China negotiating this stuff. By the way, along with Larry Kudlow, I think he agrees with you 100%.
Well, Larry does agree. He was on the show Friday saying he does agree with that sentiment. Because, look, if we want to change, I think that the trade deficit is a little bit of a misguided statistic, right? Because we consume a lot, and I sure hope we can continue to consume a lot, right? It's nice to be a consumer and to buy a lot of stuff. The president keeps pointing to the trade deficit as what we need to reduce. I say forget about the trade deficit. That'll reduce itself or work itself out. Get rid of the tariffs.
Yes, 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 and yes. I go to Walmart, and just think of it, Trish. If you go to Walmart, without Walmart, there is no lower class or middle class prosperity. And without China, there is no Walmart. There's nothing wrong with trading with China. It's wonderful. It's terrific. They've got too high tariffs on our products. Yeah. And by the way, as you say, we've got too high tariffs on their products. It should both be down to zero.
Yeah, well, in some cases, we don't have any tariffs at all. I mean, I know they don't send us any wheat,
zero,
but if they were to send us wheat, we would charge 0%. There's another good statistic in here. Cotton. They're charging 40% on raw cotton that's going over there. And they're also charging a big, hefty sum on any clothes. So, I'd like the U.S. to be able to make a few T-shirts here, too, and we could send them to China. But why would you buy them in China? Because you got a giant tax effectively.
What would be the logo on the T-shirts you got from China? What would you put as your logo?
We could say made in USA, right? That would go over well.
If you look at Japan, they're even worse than China. They've got all these non-tariff barriers. They don't even collect any tax revenues. They just do it just to discriminate. It makes no sense. And then there's no discussion of currency manipulation, which everyone knows the Japanese devalued there. What we want is a free trade world, a totally free trade world where allocation of resources. But China is not our enemy. China is our friend, and we've got to work with them to get this done right.
I know what you're trying to say, but, Art, sometimes I wonder, because this is an economy that needs to be reckoned with, right? I mean, China's economy is a big, big deal, and it's going to keep getting bigger. And you know that economic prosperity is also going to lead to the desire for more military prosperity, shall we say. And that makes it more and more difficult to confront the rising Chinese threat.
But should everyone in the world hate us because we're a great big economy, too, and we have a military that surpasses theirs? No. I think there's no reason why we can't be.
But don't you want to stay that way?
Oh, I'd love to, but I want to do it by us growing, not by us trying to pull China down. I want us to do the best job we possibly can on this planet, but I want other countries to do that too, Trish. It's really important.
So long as it's not coming, at the expense of us, Art.
That's right. No, that's right.
Okay.
I want us to cooperate and work together. I was the first person to go to mainland China with George Shultz and John Ehrlichman in modern times, by the way. We set up the Kissinger trip. And I went there with my arms crossed, hating them, knowing it would be a real problem. And I fell head over heels in love with them. I mean, this is a country that should be our best trading partner in the world. And they should be our best friend.
Yeah, well, they really can't be when they're not doing what we need them to do, shall we say, in North Korea. I mean, they're helping a little bit now. We're getting better. But, this whole summit thing may be off. Can't the Chinese maybe come to the table and use a little influence there with Kim Jong-un?
I hope so. I hope so. They've already done some. But a year ago, remember, we didn't even think there was a possibility of such a thing. I mean, Trump has done a miracle with North Korea. You've got to admit that. It's just amazing. And then with you as our trade negotiator and zero tariffs worldwide, it will be nirvana here in America. We'll be on cloud nine.
Well, hey,
America the Great.
I would love to negotiate it because I'll tell you, it shouldn't be as hard as everyone's making it. And,
it's not hard.
We could sell so many more products in China, in India, all over the world if these countries didn't put this lousy tax on our stuff.
and it would help them. Those products they want, they need those products. We produce high-quality, low-cost, great products that they need desperately. Their poverty would lift them out of poverty. Why does their government not want to let us make them richer?
Because they are afraid. They are afraid, Art, that we will thus have more, they're afraid we're too powerful, right? They don't like the fact that we're as powerful as we are to begin with. And then if they keep buying our stuff, we become more and more. So, look, I don't want to see a trade war. I know you don't want to see a trade war. But these negotiations can be much better, and they need to be more aggressive. Rome wasn't built in a day, but they got their work cut out for them.
But I think one thing that's true here, Trish, that there is an historical problem in China, that these trade regulations and tariffs come from a long history when China wasn't what it is today. Right. Now they've got to grow up. They're now a big boy nation of this world. Now they've got to behave like one and cut their tariffs to zero with Trish Regan as our economic negotiator.
Hey, listen,
I love that idea, by the way. I love it.
Oh, well, you've had a big influence on me, for sure, Art. I like a lot of the economic principles you stand by.
What do you mean a lot? Which ones don't you?
Cut taxes, would you?
Well, I'm trying.
Cut taxes.
Like
cut
that.
taxes. Keep cutting them. I think that the economy would benefit. We need some growth. Anyway, Art, it's a pleasure, sir. Thank
you, Trish. It's lovely being with you.
Thanks. All right, breaking overnight, everyone. A former Trump